Hey family, it's your girl, Boss B, and welcome to the Ask a Bee Show, the place where your letters come to life. Every day people write in with real questions about life, love, and everything in between. And together we find hope, healing, and a whole lot of honesty. Because here on Ask a Bee, we don't just talk about problems, we talk about possibilities. So grab your tea, open your heart, and let's buzz into today's letters right here on the Ask a Bee Show. Welcome back. Here we are again. Howdy, howdy. Good to see you, family. So before we go anywhere today, before we touch a letter, before we unpack a conversation, before we pick a single thread up from Saturday, I want to take a moment and be completely transparent, okay? What happened at the end of the last show? My fault. Let me say this as clearly as I can from the very beginning, okay? That moment was on me, not Walt. It wasn't technical trouble. It wasn't a mistake on his part, and it wasn't confusion. It was me hitting a wall so hard that even the universe said, "Baby girl, sit down." Saturday was one of those days where life, it had me juggling every responsibility I have all at once from the minute that I opened my eyes. And this is every day, but that's okay. I was going nonstop, fixing thumbnails, updating SEO, trying to get everything in order, organizing, collabing, answering messages, building the Lady's Diary, planning panelists, prepping streams, and still trying to keep my own head above water. Now, every time I thought I was close to finishing something, three more things jumped in line. And I know y'all know how that works, okay? I was stretching myself into 12 different directions and trying to pretend like, I could have, hold every weight perfectly balanced in two hands. By the time the show rolled around, I was already operating on fumes. But here's the thing about me. Even when I'm drained, even when my spirit is tired, when my mind is barely hanging on, I keep going. Okay? I read, I improvise, I push, I show up. That's what we do. That's what you should do. That's what everyone should do. And I did exactly that Saturday. Okay. I was still reading the letter, still trying to make sense of the parts I had kind of improvised because I couldn't even find the originals. Still trying to keep my energy warm and my focus tight for you guys, right? But my brain had already quietly stepped out the back door. It didn't negotiate with me in any way. I guess I'm a terrorist when it comes to my brain, huh, Walt? So I didn't check in. I didn't offer a warning. It just simply said, she's done and flipped my switch. So while I was still talking, while you were still watching, my mind exited the building like a tired stagehand after the final act. And at that moment that I mentally collapsed, the show ended. Pretty much. Yeah. The timing was so exact and perfect, though. It looked coordinated, but trust me, it wasn't my strategy, but it was my survival. I had time for a power nap after that, and that was perfect. It really was my mind protecting me from pushing myself past a point I should have stopped long before. It was me running out of runway in a live moment where I was trying to land a plane with no navigation. And take it from me, I've been in plenty of planes. We all know my father's a skydiver, okay? He's also a pilot, and so is his wife, and I've flown one. And that's probably not the best idea. But let me say this part again, okay? Because it matters to me, and it matters to Walt, and he did nothing wrong. Okay, flat out, he did nothing wrong. He showed up as he always does, steady, grounded, patient, listening to me juggle chaos with heart and humor. And, the man was right there, and his timing aligned with my shutdown so perfectly that it almost looked intentional, but he didn't cause it. Okay. He didn't cut me off. He didn't press anything out of frustration or confusion. He simply reacted in the moment that my brain decided to quit without notifying management. So, I love you all. This ain't you. Okay. Because I knew better. I knew I should have put you off. And when I did, I think I hit the wrong button. Maybe I don't know who did it at this point, but you know what? I'm going to take it because that's what we do here. Okay. And if I'm being honest with you, well, you probably saved me from 10 more minutes of pure nonsense because you saw what happened. And I kept talking, but I think I probably repeated myself 50 times. And then I finally found what I was looking for. Switched the letters midstream or slipped into a whole sermon I didn't mean to preach. My brain had abandoned me. And Walt's timing, whether he knew it or not, saved your girl from fully unraveling on camera. Okay? Now, here we are today. Okay? Not running from that moment. Not embarrassed by it. Not pretending it didn't happen. We're going to embrace it today. Laugh at it. Just like Walt said. And own it. And finishing what we started. Okay? Today we come together with clarity. I got some sleep. Today my mind is present. Okay? Today my energy is settled. Or I'm a little hyper today, but it's settled. And today we're going to honor the letters that didn't get their full moment. We honor the conversations we were meant to finish, and we honor the reality that life doesn't always follow the script we write, even on live shows, right? Ask a Bee isn't polished. It's not pre-recorded. It's definitely not manufactured. It's real life, happening in real time, with real people who show up imperfect and honest. And that's exactly what makes this space special, especially for me. And that's why I'm sharing it with you. So we're going to take a breath, settle in, pick up right where we left off with some warmth and some intention, humor for sure, and with full ownership, because you're going to see Walt was doing great. This was on me. And that rhymed. Hey. Look, I'm here, I'm steady, and today my brain clocked in on time. All right. So let's get this started here. I'm going to show you a clip from Saturday's show. It's not where everything began, but it was the perfect finish. So it's, forgive me, about 12 minutes long, but hey, we're here for an hour, so I'm good with filling time. Here we go. Play, please. Play. Walt, I won't lie. It didn't go the way I hoped. I sat my wife down on my day off exactly like you said. No TV on, no distractions, no phone, just us at the kitchen table. I told her everything I'd been carrying, the exhaustion, the fear, the way the job wears on my nerves, until the sound of my own turnout alarm makes my chest tighten. I told her I wasn't pulling away from her. I was shutting down because I didn't have the words for the things I see. I told her I felt like I was losing her and myself at the same time. But instead of softening, she got quiet, and not the good kind of quiet. The quiet where you can practically hear the wall going up brick by brick. She said she's tired of living like she's sharing her husband with danger, tired of waiting, tired of the emotional whiplash that comes with me walking in the door in one piece, but not always emotionally present. She said she doesn't know if she can keep doing this. B, I've run into burning houses with collapsing roofs. I've cut people out of wrecks while flames danced across the pavement. I've seen things most people don't even encounter in nightmares, but the sentence from her, that was the one that knocked the wind out of me.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the circle back. Here's where the circle really hits. I honestly thought opening up would fix everything, but now I'm not sure if I opened the door too late. The past few days, she's been distant in a different kind of way. Not angry, just defeated, like a woman who's made up her mind but doesn't want to hurt me with the truth. I keep replaying everything I said, wondering if I pushed too hard or not enough. I thought the firehouse was my hardest home. Turns out my own kitchen table is the battleground I prepared for. So B, I'm circling back because I don't know what the next move is. I'm willing to fight for my marriage. I'm willing to adjust, communicate, slow down, whatever it takes. But I can't force someone to stay in the life they feel is burning them down from the inside. How do I show her I'm still the man she married, even if the world I work in has changed me? Signed, a firefighter trying not to lose his family. Now, give me 1 second
Take your time.
because there's another letter. Okay.
Okay.
Let me just say real quick, this is where I begin my, oh, I don't even know what to call it. Just here's your humor now. We'll call it humor. Okay, I'm trying to find it here. I thought it was in that scene. Wow, I can't believe this. The one day I thought I had all this together. Uh,
We'll be laughing about this tomorrow, B.
we
Trust me.
will. I
Not
hope
about the
so.
letter, but about the technical difficulties. I'm sure Big Jack is taking notes.
Yes, probably. And I'm not even paying attention to the chat. Oh, Nisi's here. Okay, let's
Hey,
see.
Nisi,
I'm still looking.
take your time.
Okay, being Walt. I'm circling back like you asked, and today I finally get to write something I didn't think I'd be able to say a month ago. Things are getting better, and not pretend better or temporary better. I mean, real steady. I can breathe again, much better. After your advice, I took a different approach. Instead of sitting my wife down like I did before and making some big announcement, I started showing her pieces of me in the small moments.
Mm.
Little check-ins, a hand on her back. When she washed dishes, you should have seen the smile in her face. Sitting beside her on the couch, even when I was exhausted, things I didn't realize I had stopped doing.
That
And she
part.
noticed. She didn't say much at first. She's stubborn like me, but she softened. The breakthrough happened yesterday. I came home from a long shift, and instead of pretending I was fine, I told her the truth. And I said I was tired, not physically, but emotionally. She just looked at me for a second, walked over, wrapped her arms around me, and said, I miss you telling me things like that.
Mm. So she just wanted to be included.
Yeah. Amen.
She just
Be
felt like she was the odd person out.
exactly. That's all
Wow.
it was about.
Communication, right?
Yeah. Wow. Right?
Yeah, I mean that's like, but the first conversation, uh, without that, he may not have gotten to this. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, he pushed and pushed, but I don't think it was too much because again, we were saying that there clearly was some underlying things going on.
There you
And
go.
here we are. So that's good stuff. Another satisfied listener, huh?
Yeah. I got one last little line here. Thank you
Hmm.
for what you told me. It didn't fix us. We fixed us.
There you
But
go.
your words gave me the push I needed to start the conversation that changed everything.
There you go.
Signed, Finding My Way Back Home.
There you go.
Look what we did, Walt.
Hey, B, that's pretty cool. You know, that's I mean, and you know, replace the, you know, substitute the job, substitute the career with anything, but that's just the basics of being in a relationship, right?
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
finding that balance. So that's just basics relationships 101, you know.
Look what we did for your birthday, Walt.
Hey,
Did you think I'd forget?
hey, it's getting
Happy
close.
birthday.
It's actually the 30th, not till next week, the 30th. Yeah.
Yeah, well, but I'm going to get to
Yeah, but
say
I
it on my show
appreciate you.
right
Yeah,
now.
hey B, hey look B, I'm just glad to be alive and well, you know.
I am
I,
glad you're alive and well, Walt.
hey look, in spite of myself, I'm still here. So this is good stuff. Yeah, this is good
Amen.
stuff.
That's
Yeah.
what makes it good stuff. Having Jack.
Absolutely. Well, B,
Absolutely.
I tell you, I'm glad that they figured it out.
Yes.
And you know, at the end of the day, it's a partnership, and that part of their his career
Hmm.
allows him time off.
Right.
It checks all the boxes for guys who, well, here's the thing, it checked the boxes for me.
Yeah.
I got to serve my community.
Yes.
I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot, and it made some pretty decent money. So, you know, and I, for me, I was living my dream. That was my childhood dream. You know,
Right.
I just don't know what I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah.
But I really
Me
was
too.
able to check that box early in life. And
Yeah.
a lot of people go through their whole lives without feeling that. So if that's how he feels, if that's how that job fulfills him,
Yeah.
one of two, well, two things, one of two things, or maybe both things happen. One, he may have felt like he had to pick and choose between the two, which should never have happened. You know,
Yeah.
should never be the case, let me say. And she may have felt like she had been replaced, because maybe that fills some voids for him that he wasn't aware that he needed filled. So now that they're on the same page, they can both experience it. And then his other thing, you know, she clearly, just based on the letter, I'm not going to say clearly, but based on the letter, I'm
Hmm.
assuming, and we know how that goes, right?
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that she is not talking to other wives of firefighters, because
Probably not.
she's not going through this thing alone. Trust me, there's a whole thing, you know,
Right.
and
Yeah.
yeah, so, and there's events and stuff, and so she's got a whole community of women, not necessarily wives, but women who are spouses that
Yeah.
take that can help her through this, and then that she can discuss these things with. So, hey, you know, he's like I said, running into the burning building was the easy part, but the kitchen table part is tough for him. So
There
that's
you go.
good. I'm glad
Yep.
he got past that. So that was cool, B. You
Yes.
hey, look, this is what you logged in for, B. This is what you signed up for. You know,
That's
you helping
it.
people out. Yeah.
Hey, that community thing that you were talking about, you got to serve it early in life. I didn't, but I'm doing it
Mm.
now, right?
I was about to say, but you're doing it now. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I am enjoying this part,
Yeah.
but you know, when I see what you and Big Jack and Davina do, we are not the same. And I'll be the first to admit that. So I'm getting there. I like to get in where I fit in, but I'm well aware that you guys are playing this game at a whole nother level. So again, I'd be remiss if I didn't just reiterate that every time I speak to you, because, you know, even just like today, and I'm like, hey, when you said, uh, you know, there
The
was an
fireman standard.
opportunity, I want to
Yeah.
hear it. Yeah, let me see if I can get on and log in and interrupt the show and not learn how to log in properly and
You
all
did
that
good.
good stuff. But thank you,
You
B.
got
I
all the way in
appreciate
here,
it.
no problem. What are you talking about? That was awesome. I'm so
Oh man,
thankful.
so but hey, I appreciate it. I'll listen. I'm going to get off stage and I'll listen in, and thanks a lot. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Walt. Hey,
Oh,
just let me say something real quick.
sure.
One thing.
Take
Okay.
your time.
You get to
Mhm.
throw your gratitude. Let me throw mine. Listen, I couldn't have answered this man's letter without you. So you put it in too. Okay, man.
I
You're
appreciate it.
just as heavy worker as we are, because it takes a lot to come up with all of these answers that you give us. So don't forget your place, mister. You're right up here with us, okay?
So,
Sitting at the round table with us.
oh, hey, I appreciate that. Hey, look. Again, a butter knife is always needed at the dinner table, so I understand that.
Blunt logic.
I definitely understand that. And this is right out of the category of I give my best advice to my friends because I haven't always used it for myself. So so I've been there. So hey, hey, I
Well,
appreciate it. Thanks for that, B. You made my day. The
Walt,
sun is even shining now in DC, so I'm gonna go out here and run a few errands, and I'll be listening. Okay.
we all know that you might be the butter knife, but Walt, you are sterling silver butter knife, okay?
Oh Lord, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thanks,
I love
B.
you, Walt. Thank you for
Love you
coming
more. Have a
on.
good one. All righty.
You
Bye bye.
too. Bye. I'm going to be in so much trouble for that, aren't I? No, I am. I couldn't help myself. That was a good ending to that little vid, right? That was a total mic drop moment, y'all. And it was all on me, okay? It was completely and totally on me. And it was blast. And I absolutely enjoyed it, okay? That day was a success, no matter what anybody says, because we got the point that I needed out. I needed Walt and I to be able to put that out in the universe that look at what happened here, okay? This is what we want here in the Iron Sharpening Iron universe. Grow and glow. Each one reach one, and we can all grow and glow. And that's what this is about. Yay, Walt loved it. See? Y'all, there's no shade here, nothing but shine, okay? Nothing but shine. I had a day. It happens. I'm human. And we all know that that's just how it goes. Sometimes you just more human on some days than others, as far as I'm concerned. So that worked out quite well, actually, because then we got to see that wonderful answer again from Walt Talks No Fluff, just good stuff. Because that was important to me. As we know, this person is personal. Okay. I know them from my area. And as much as I would like to help them, there's things that I can't do. But and Walt helped me. Walt helped me. Okay. He helped me to no end because there's no way that I would have had I couldn't even sympathize with that because I don't know. I mean, no, I take that back. I can sympathize. It's empathy. I get it. But I can't, I don't have the experience to answer a letter like that. And I'm not going to ask ChatGPT to give me something like that. That's just not organic. And that's not what we do here. Everything is organic, plain and simple. My letters, I read those. Everything else is talking points. Everything else is me. And you can tell I'm hyper. I had way too much caffeine this morning. I'm sorry. I'm trying to back down off of my caffeine intake, but today was just not working at first. And I've got my grandchild, so I've got to keep up. And I think I took just a sip too much. I had coffee this morning. I don't normally have coffee, but it was actually chilly in Texas this morning when I woke up. Go figure. I didn't know that happened here. Did you? So I might actually get to wear a hoodie in a couple of days. It's not that cool yet. Listen. All right. We're going to go ahead and move on into the rest of the show. And we're going to do things just a tad bit different this time. I love my trivia and everything, but I want to get into the letters first. And I think maybe moving the trivia to the last part is it's another test. Okay, y'all. But we love the music too. I just want to focus on the letters first. because those are the most important part. And, having y'all here to hear them to me is also important. Now, I've struggled with the segments of my show trying to figure out how to work them out. And I think I've got this. Thank you, Walt. I almost wore my jersey, but you got that picture, right? That one's especially for you. That's a team mascot kind of thing, okay? Sorry, I had to. I love CD. CD, even though he's not playing like he should be this year, he better be, right? Anyway, okay. So, before we dive into the heavier roads of the day, I do want to tell you this is how I've worked this out. Instead of calling it the funny letter, or, it needs a proper name, I think. So, in my best Texas accent, let me tell you, this one is now called, this segment is the Bless Your Heart. Yep, this is the Bless Your Heart letters. Yeah, it's definitely Texas, definitely Southern, and definitely needed for this segment. Okay. We always start with that one corner of life we all know too well, and that's the part where people do things that make us stop mid-sentence, stare into space and say, Lord, bless their hearts. Not in a mean way, not really in a judgmental way, but is that about the picture? Well, I think that's about the picture, probably. Walt says, oh boy. But yes, it could be about the bless your heart too. I think y'all like my Texas accent just a little bit more than you say. Okay, but in that universal human way where it really acknowledging that sometimes people operate on an entirely different frequency from the rest of us, right? And we're just trying to make sense of everything. So the bless your heart segment is where we're going to warm up the room. We kind of warmed up already, but that had to happen. Okay. I needed y'all to hear that, all that was my fault and everything was good. And the letter got read and it was a success no matter what. Okay. But so the bless your heart segment is where, it's the moments that reality take a breath and we remind ourselves that even when life gets heavy, ridiculousness is always lurking somewhere close by. It's the neighbor who means well, but creates chaos. Yeah. It's the spouse who tries to help but invents a disaster. It's the coworker who thinks they're the CEO of common sense, but they couldn't survive 10 minutes unsupervised. Or I don't know, the little human slip ups that make us laugh because we've all been there, right? Or we know somebody who stays there. That would be me sometimes. No, all the time. Stays there. Yes. This part of the show exists because humor is it's a pressure valve, right? Before we shift into honesty and vulnerability and real emotion, we let the room loosen up. Let people laugh at something harmless. We let them remember that, life isn't always serious business. Sometimes life is tripping over your own good intentions. And sometimes life is dealing with someone who tries their hardest and still misses the mark by a full mile and a half. Sometimes life is just human. But the magic of this segment isn't really the comedy, it's the connection, I think. People show up in the chat smiling, leaning in, kicking off their shoes metaphorically, because this is the part where everyone feels seen without feeling exposed. And it disarms us, it softens us, it gets us ready for the deeper conversations. And, those come a little bit later, but honestly, it's just fun. It's that shared moment we all need in the middle of the day that might have already tried us, right? So Go ahead and settle in for today's bless your heart moment, because trust me, somebody out there has written something that is about to make all of us say, "Oh, honey, bless your heart." Y'all be ready. Dear B, something happened this week that made me question not only my marriage, but also the entire state of humanity. And I'm sending it to you because my group chat told me I wasn't allowed to keep this to myself. Okay. B, my husband tried to fix the washing machine. Okay, we're already, be calm, B. I'm already sweating writing this. I got you. I'm already sweating too. Okay, turn the fan up. Now, let me preface this by saying the man has many gifts. He is thoughtful, hardworking, and incredibly reliable, unless the situation involves tools, machinery, electricity, plumbing, mechanics, YouTube tutorials, or anything requiring instructions longer than 4 sentences. So when the washer started making a tiny rattling noise, tiny, like a polite whisper of a noise, I'm already scared where this one's going. I should have followed my instincts and guarded that machine with my life. Instead, I watched him roll up his sleeves like he was about to perform surgery. That happens here. He pulled the washer out from the wall, unplugged it, and then, for reasons unknown to science, grabbed my good dinner fork, the one from the matching set we only use on holidays. I said, "Why do you need that?" And he said, "To pry things." Like, that was a normal answer. Like, forks grow on trees. B, he stuck the fork into the little drainage opening on the front panel and started digging around like he was searching for treasure. Okay, I've seen that happen too. Every few seconds he'd say, "Huh," or "That's interesting," which is never what you want to hear during unauthorized appliance exploration. Next thing I know, there's a loud pop, a small spark, and my husband jumps back yelling, "It bit me." Not the machine, B, the fork. The fork bit him. Long story short, the washer stopped making the rattling noise because it stopped making all noises. It is now as silent and as still as a tombstone. And the man turned to me proudly and said, "Well, at least the rattle's gone." I had to leave the house before I committed a felony. Oh, honey, I'm right there with you. Wow. So please tell me, how do I lovingly... I can't answer this. Oh, no. How do I lovingly explain to my husband that he is never again, under any circumstances, allowed to fix anything that costs more than $9? How do I ban him from home repairs without hurting his feelings or my appliances? And most importantly, how do I get him to replace the fork he murdered in the cold blood? Signed, my washer died a hero. That it did, honey. That it did. Lord. I got to have a drink for this one because let me tell you something right now, okay? There are 2 kinds of men in this world. The ones who call a professional the moment something starts making a weird noise, and the ones who look that same noise dead in the face and say, "I can fix that." Even though they absolutely, positively, scientifically cannot. Your husband is the second kind. And I'm going to be honest with you. That man was on a mission he was never qualified for, but completely motivated by. Okay. Men have a special brand of confidence that activates whenever an appliance malfunctions. Not skill, not expertise, just pure unearned confidence. And that, sorry guys, I love you. You know I do. And they treat it like a spiritual calling. Okay. Have you ever had your husband walk in with a tool belt on? And that's the first time you ever seen that? And I'm sorry, but let's start with the fork. Okay. Because be warriors. I need the whole chat to take a moment of silence for this dinner fork that gave its life in the line of duty. Okay. That fork had dreams. That fork had potential. And that fork deserved a long retirement full of holiday meals and quiet silverware drawers. Yeah. You darn right about that one, Walt. But instead, this fork got recruited into a home repair project it didn't sign up for, right? May it rest in stainless steel peace. And when your husband said to pry things, he meant, I don't know what I'm doing, but this feels right. Yeah. Because that is the battle cry of husbands everywhere. Okay. I don't care where you're at, everywhere. Now, the moment he said, huh, and that's interesting, lady, you should have evacuated the premises. Okay. That's the universal sign that danger is near. Yeah. Men do not say interesting unless they are seconds away from breaking something expensive. The spark, the pop, the washer's going silent like it crossed into the afterlife. Those weren't surprises. Those were prophecies fulfilling themselves. Okay. Come on. That wasn't the washer. That was destiny. So here's the part that really made me clutch my soul. Okay. When he proudly announced, well, at least the rattle's gone. Honey, that wasn't pride. That was self-preservation. Translation. If I say this confidently enough, maybe she won't notice the appliance is now a $900 statue. Yeah. Bless him. He tried. He failed. He failed loudly, but he tried. So here's what you do. You do not ban him from repairs outright. Okay. That will bruise his ego and start marital negotiations. Neither of y'all are really prepared for, I don't think. So instead, you're going to redirect him. Okay. You create a do not touch list. Love the personifications of the fork. I know, right? Thank you, Davina. So good to see you, honey. Yeah, okay. So the do not touch list and have at it list. Okay. Be fair. Be fair. Washers? No. Dryers? Heck no. Y'all know what I mean. Anything electrical? Absolutely not. But bird feeders? There you go. Bird feeders, sure. Garden hoses? Absolutely. Cardboard boxes? I got plenty. Yes. Let him build a whole fort if he wants to. Hey, I got a granddaughter. We're already working on that one. Let me tell you. The key is to give him projects where the worst case scenario costs $7.99, not an appliance funeral. Okay. And the fork. Here you go, sis. He's buying a whole new set. Matter of fact, make him buy two. One to replace the set he destroyed, and one to memorialize the brave little fork that gave it its life for absolutely no reason. Okay? Bless his whole heart. Bless your washer. Bless your patience. And bless your future appliance budget. Okay? Because, girl, you're going to need that. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh. All right. So now that, wow. You read a letter and you go through part of it and you're skimming through and you're like, okay, yes, this is perfect. And then that, right? Really? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that. That is exactly it. Wow. How can I do this now? So, segment with the letter that's usually the tougher one. I didn't know really what to call it. I was having such a hard time with that. And I want to make it a thing, right? That's what we do for our shows. We call our segments what they are. If we have segments, we do that. And this one, well, it's definitely got my Texas in it. I think it's perfect though. And I'm calling this the gravel road letter because I think we have all traveled a gravel road here and there, and metaphorically and for real. But I think it carries the weight that it needs to. If I want to be honest. And I think it needs to carry the weight. And it's tough going over a gravel road. There are so many things that can happen. Gravel roads, it's nothing but rock. Number one, your car's going to be a total mess because that white rock gravel road is terrible on your car. Might have scratches from them popping up. Things happen, and it's like a Murphy's law or whatever. It's that domino effect. Everything just kind of happens that way. And if you've never lived on a gravel road, I invite you to go drive down one because it's rocky, it's bumpy. You go uphill, you go downhill. You find the route you take to miss the potholes. It's a gravel road. But, before we pick up these letters and finish what we didn't really get the chance to finish, I just want to take a moment and go back to the exact place where everything shifted, because even though the show cut off, the moment itself was still real. Okay, that letter was still real. My reaction was real. Walt's thoughts were real, and the heart behind what we're trying to build in that moment deserves to be seen in full, not as a half of a memory or a broken conversation. So instead of trying to, read the letters from scratch, trying to recreate the emotions or the energy that we had Saturday, I think that was the best way to revisit that. It wasn't really polished. I did add a little bit to the end of it, but there was nothing rewritten there. It wasn't staged. It was just what happened Saturday. And I felt like it needed that extra because at the end of that, you can see, look at what we did, Walt. That's what I asked you. Look at what we did, Walt. Do you know how good that made me feel and how much it carried me that day? Just knowing that you and I had that effect on somebody, and especially because it was personal, but to be able to do that for a stranger, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And I know you probably saw, I couldn't find my letters for some reason. No clue why. But that was my day. That was just my day. And I'm over it. And it was perfect. I still think it was a success, and the way that we reacted, the way we felt, that I just needed to share that with y'all because it was pretty perfect, right? It was absolutely perfect. And I wouldn't have had it any other way. So, what I really want to do is, in this part, instead of going with another letter, okay? We've already seen the clip. I just want to give it a little bit of an answer too. I was going to talk about it a little bit more after Walt and I got through the letters and everything. And I didn't get that chance, and that's okay. That's okay, because now I have it, right? Things happen. We're all human. And it's been an amazing moment, regardless of the small mishaps. But here's what I want to say to you, firemen. You came back to this space not with anger, not with defensiveness, not with excuses, not with anything but honesty. Okay. You circled back. That's what our Saturdays are now called, Circle Back Saturday. You circled back because you cared enough about your marriage to keep working on it. And you cared enough about your own growth to admit where you fell. That alone already puts you in a different category than most. Okay. When, take this to heart, please. When men circle back with humility instead of pride, that is a sign of a man who wants reconciliation, not credit. That is so important. And I need you to hear that. You talked about the shifts that you made, small ones at first, the kind of that, that most people overlook because they think change has to be big to be real. It's always the small things that save relationships. I think there's a lot of us can agree on that. Like I was saying before, a man, my husband, when he puts in his hand on the small of my back, I feel like I can face the world. And that's all it takes. That one hand on the small of my back at the right moment. And my confidence goes through the roof. So, you talked about the shifts you made, small ones at first, the kind most people overlook because they think change, like I said, is too big to be real. The fact that you started checking in with her, not as a firefighter on duty, okay, but as a husband at home. That's the kind of growth that creates safety for a woman's heart. It really wasn't much about your job. Women don't need grand speeches either, okay? We need consistency. We need to feel like we matter in the small spaces, not just the dramatic ones. And the moment she wrapped her arms around you and said, I miss you telling me things like that, baby girl, oh my gosh, she told you everything. Darling, that was it right there, okay? That was the door opening wide. That was the shift both of you had been waiting on without even knowing it. Now, because women cannot support what they are not allowed to see, she wasn't asking you to be perfect. She was asking for access to you, right? Not just the man in the uniform, not just the man who runs into fires, but the man who comes home carrying burdens he doesn't know how to name. So, oh, hi, Blood Sister. Happy Monday. Thank you. That was a good time. I needed a drink. Good to see you, honey. Very happy to see you every time. Okay, so I see two people learning to hear each other instead of assuming. I see a man taking ownership without guilt and a woman softening without resentment. And that right there, I think that's the definition. Here you go, Mama Lions. That's the definition of resilience in a relationship. Not the absence of struggle, but the willingness to stay, talk through it, and rebuild the parts that cracked under pressure, right? So keep doing what you're doing. Keep showing up. Keep choosing the small moments over the dramatic ones. Keep letting her into the parts of you that used to protect, because you thought, you were sparing her. That's what you thought you were doing. It's not sparing, okay? It's not. If anything, it's omission, and that hurts. You weren't really sparing her. You're just isolating yourself. And now I think it sounds like you know the difference. And I think that's amazing. You're not just a firefighter, okay? You're a man leading or learning how to come home. And that is a different kind of bravery, one that deserves to be honored. All right, man. before I start crying, because let me tell you something, sir. I am so very honored to know you in my life. Okay. A fireman. And, I've known people who were essential, right? Firemen. My stepmother's a nurse. I know people. And I feel so honored to be a part of your life right now in this situation, because it's opened my eyes to the reality of what they go through. A firefighter is essential in more than just their career, you know, in their families as well. And that's a lot to carry. If you know a fireman, if you know any in those kind of fields, that they have to serve others, any field that serves others, you need to thank them, and profusely. Thank you, Walt. Thank you, Walt. Thank you to all of you out there who put your lives in jeopardy every step of the way. Thank you for allowing Walt to make it through all of that, because he's here with us now. Thank you to all those people that do all those selfless things in these jobs. And I have a policeman that lives right next door. I have a policeman that lives down the street from me, and I know them, and I haven't thanked them enough. So I want to invite you to go and remember to thank them. If you haven't, thank them. You need to. They deserve it more than anybody else. No doubt. Okay? Wow. That hit me a totally different way too, because not just because it's personal, but because I can't imagine what's going on in their lives right now. On the news today, we have another shooting in Dallas, and this is every day. There it went. No clue what happened just now. I hope I'm still online. Okay, we're back. Goodness. My bad. We've had weather overnight, so they may be working on my internet. Please forgive me. So I want to finish this though, because this is so important to me. Thank you, Big Jack. Thank you. You know, um, thank them. Okay. I can't stress that enough, because you have no idea what they've gone through. When my husband had a heart attack a few months ago, all I could do was thank them, because, first off, the man's got a widowmaker going on, and he's getting up, walking outside to the ambulance. And, those firefighters that got here first, they were just as concerned about me as they were about my husband. And I've had medical training. Okay. I've had medical training. I've been through medical assisting. It was a while back, but I've got some training. And I know what those EKG machines that they pop on him were saying. I know that. And one of the firefighters who knew me because he was here when my mother passed away, he knew that I was about to break down. I was doing my very best not to, but he knew I was about to let go. And that man, he stood there with me, and he reassured me, and he told me it's going to be okay. And he tried to offer me a seat. The man was attentive. And you know what? If I could go and find him right now, I would, and thank him. Because in those moments that we have those really rough times, when our life just seems like it's going crazy and there's, you're just spiraling, those people right there, it takes a special person to do that job. And let me tell you, special in the most endearing way, because wow. And I'm so glad that there is some way that I can help them back. And this right here, Walt, you helped me with this. And this moment for me is, it's one of those wow moments. You know, we should have wow moments, lots of wow moments. Those are the ones that make the biggest difference. And this was a wow moment for me. So even if I didn't do the whole show, even if I didn't finish this show out with every single bit of it, here's the deal. I had that moment, and I have a firefighter to thank for it. Thank you again, Walt. Seriously. It was amazing that you just jumped in, and I'm sorry. I wish I had known better about your birthday and everything. I thought it was your birthday this weekend, and I was trying to get that to you because that was my gift, because I needed you to know that we did this. Okay. I'm glad that it's not your birthday, because there's an early birthday gift. Oh my goodness. So silly. So silly. So, I was going to get into music trivia, but I've already talked this hour away. So, I think we're going to save that for tomorrow because, yeah, my granddaughter's here and my hour is up. But just to find where I'm here. Absolutely, we're going to come to the end of the journey today, because I think that was more than enough, honestly. And if you disagree before I get done with my outro, just say so, and I will tell you whatever you want to know about the music trivia part. But I think I could end it on this note and be happy with this whole show today, because that was a moment, I think, that it even got better, right? It got better because we showed it again, because we talked about it again. And it's put me in a great mood, a really great mood, especially because I know Walt's here yet again. And you know what? That partnership right there, I love my team. Let me tell you that. I love my team. I love my team. Everybody should have a team like mine. There, I get to say it. Not everybody should have a B, because that would take me away, and that's not going to happen. So, but look, my beautiful bee warriors, that's going to wrap up another day in the hive. And what a day it was. Wow. We held hearts in the bless your heart moment. We walked through pretty steady gravel road on Saturday and finished it today. If you got to take a couple of days to walk that road, it's okay. We've opened our minds in music history this last week's, and I don't know. I think it's just really going well, and I'm really excited about where we're taking this show. I think that I think this has probably been the best moment in my entire life, and I haven't even got to tell you the very, very cool part. I'm going to tell you this, and then I'm going to go ahead and let it go. I saved this one. I was going to tell my team last night, but I decided to wait because I wanted to do it live with you all, and I knew they would be here before I got out here. Okay. Yesterday, I was working, right? All day. I even worked late, and I was wearing my BBTV shirt. I'm an Instacart driver. Okay. I work with my best friend on the weekends, and I'm walking through Costco. Let me take these glasses off so you can see the sincerity in my eyes. I was walking through Costco, and a young gentleman, younger than me, obviously, he walked up to me and he says, "I know that emblem on your shirt." You do? How do you know that? YouTube. He recognized me. I got recognized yesterday, guys. I got recognized. How does that happen? I was wearing my BBTV shirt. He says, "I know that." And I said, "Then you know me." Wow. We're out there, y'all. I told you, we're going interstellar. Here we go. I got recognized in my own hometown from the best ever emblem anybody could ever make. Thank you, boss man, Big Jack. And I got recognized. Last week we had the jukebox journey. And you know what? We had the highest number of views on a live that we have ever had. And it was over 400. I can't remember the number. This is where our universe is going. This is where you need to be. Because let me tell you, we are blowing up. And this is all Big Jack's fault. He's got the graphics. He's got the people. He's got the drive that puts us in the right direction. And let me tell you, the way we all work together, it's become a dream come true for all of us. Okay. I love you guys. I do. Thank you for spending your noon hour with me again. Thank you for your letters. Thank you for your trust. And thank you for showing up. Oh, it's all of us. It's a we thing. Yes, sir. But this is your idea. Iron Sharpening Iron Universe is your baby. We just got to help be part of the village to make it grow. That's all that is. Sir, you are the universe. I am simply a galaxy. You better take it too. All right? Listen. Until next time, I am B. This is Ask a B. And as always, may your heart stay open, your road stay steady, and your music stay loud. See you tomorrow, B Warriors. Bye-bye.
How you like that?